All right, that means we're live. Amazing. Okay, well, as some of you may know, you're only going to see myself, Carlos, and Victoria. So what I like to do every session is go ahead and click on chat. And what y'all are going to do is you're going to go ahead, it's going to toggle initially just to hosts and panelists. What you're going to do is toggle over to everyone, and then you're going to say where you're joining from. So I'm going to say hi from Bozeman, Montana. Feel free to go ahead and do the same.
Fun.
Yeah, usually we get a good smattering of every time zone. So I like to
Yeah.
get us started there. Awesome. All right. It looks like here we go. We've got Boston. We've got Charlotte. We need some Central time zone and Pacific time. For those of you that are just joining us, we are actually utilizing the chat. So what you're going to do is go ahead and toggle over to everyone and then say where you're joining from. People are being shy tonight because we can see y'all, but you can't, we can't see all of you in person. So, all right, here we go. Thanks, Jacob, for joining in. All right, Michigan, hello. We always get a good showing from Texas. Love
Hey,
to see it.
Texas. I love that.
Love to see it. Awesome. Amazing. All right, I'll give you all like one more minute to say where you're joining from, and then I'm going to get us kicked off here. And for any of those that sent us those directly, just the hosts and panelists, make sure you toggle over to say to everyone. And that'll apply for anything you're sending unless it's, you have a private question. Hey, hey, here we go. Now we got the Pacific time zone. We've got SoCal, Los Angeles. Love it. There we, oh, here we go. We got multiple LA. Here we go. Very cool. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. For those who are just joining us again, go ahead and post in the chat. It's a great way to start seeing where everybody else on the call is, since you can only see our three lovely faces. Um, For tonight's session, I'm going to do my introduction and talk about Backflip. I'm going to introduce Carlos and Victoria. They're going to take it away, teach an incredible session, and then open it up to Q&A. What I encourage y'all to do throughout the entire session is put your questions into the chat or put them into the Q&A. Either one will be able to utilize. So when a question pops into your head, go ahead and type that out because we'll be able to address all of those at the end of the session. It's really, this is y'all's opportunity, and these are incredible experts. So I highly encourage you to utilize this time to the best of your ability. The other thing I'll note is that I am joined, you don't see her here, but I am also joined by one of my colleagues. Her name is Yvonne. She is based in Boston. She's here to answer any of your backflip questions in the chat. So if you do have any questions throughout the session about lending terms, credit scores, where do we lend, any of those questions, you can ask them in the chat and Yvonne will hop in and answer those. So without further ado, I am Mariah. I am head of marketing here at Backflip. I've been here for almost 4 years and super excited to be with all of you. In terms of what Backflip is, for those who are new or just need a refresher, I like to think of Backflip as threefold. First, we are a free app that helps real estate investors determine if an investment is going to be a good fit or not. So think of it as your access to the MLS. You type in your address, you get back relevant comps, and you get your ARV. So it's a good gut check. Gives you that like, should I pursue this further or not? I'm going to post the link to download the free app in the chat. So y'all, if you don't have it already, please go ahead and download it. There is that. The second thing about Backflip, we are a lender. So we are an investor forward lender. We want to partner with you to make sure that you can invest in your next flip. We lend in 44 states. Our average close time is 10 to 14 days. So we can get you into your property quickly and hopefully make that a really easy process for you to utilize our capital to scale your investing. And last but not least, the last thing I'll say about Backflip, the part that I'm most biased about, is that we are a community. So we've got almost 117,000 folks in the Backflip community that is all across the US. We do both in-person and virtual programming. We want to be your resource and your network to help you scale. So we are fortunate enough to work with incredible investors like yourselves, and we want to be able to connect you to folks like Victoria and Carlos to help you scale, because that's what this is really all about. This is a people first business. So we want to be that community for you. So to that end, we were fortunate enough to meet Victoria and Carlos in our team met in Charlotte, and establish really incredible relationships, I would say, with the whole family. And we've been fortunate enough to do some events both in person and now virtually. They are incredible. If you haven't already read their bios, they have been scaling and doing this for 20 plus years. So these are our experts tonight. They're going to be teaching us how to not only scale your real estate investing business, but do it as a family. So I don't want to take up too much more airtime. I'm going to hand it over. Victoria and Carlos, this is all you.
Thank you so much, Mariah. You did such an amazing job. As we can all see, you're very good at what you do. So I am very blessed to be here. I've had a great experiences with Backflip, and I'm so excited to just share a little bit of what we do, how we got there, and also just do a little promo for Backflip as well, and just be able to say, hey, we're willing to stretch our necks out for them because they followed through for us and they've treated us like family. So it's very fitting for the topic of this to be family oriented. But a little intro about me. My name is Victoria Amaya. I am based here with my family here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I particularly am a real estate agent here in Charlotte, but I also service the Ballantyne, Gastonia, basically the surrounding areas, not just in Charlotte, within a 1 hour radius. And the most important thing that you're going to find out about us is we're very investor based because we are investors ourselves. So I'm going to go a little more into detail of how important it is to have an investor friendly agent that understands the ins and outs and not just, hey, I want a property. Oh, let me list it when it's all ready. I'll talk to you when everything's done. I'll check back in a couple months, but someone that can walk you through from the beginning to the end. So that's a little bit about me. I got an absolute rock star of a father. In case you guys can't tell, that's my dad, Carlos Amaya. So I can't wait for you guys to hear his intro as well and get to know a little bit about us and our story.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me, definitely. Every time I got the chance to share a microphone with you, my beautiful daughter and Mariah, thank you for the invite. We've been like part of the Backflip events in person here in Charlotte. And as a matter of fact, we hold one in one of the properties at one point, I still have people that comment about that one. That people that are starting to invest in real estate because they went through you guys, like one of their fix and flip, and they really like it. So in terms of my experience, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I've done many things. I started as a real estate agent. My wife forced me to it. She read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and she signed out to get the license. I wasn't crazy with the idea, but she pushed me. We started doing real estate in 2004, 2006. My wife came to the business. I realized that a lot of people in my community need loans, and I was translating pretty much the whole process. So I started doing mortgages at that time, residential mortgages, until the market crashed in 2008. When the market crashed, I joined a foreclosure defense attorney. I was there for like almost 10, 11 years. And I did radio in New York City, around the corner from Trump Tower, before he would run for president. I was able to have coffee there every Sunday, not anymore. And then I started investing in real estate in 2015. And the reason why was because of a lot of health issues. I have cancer in 2012. I have 12 brain procedures from 2015 to 2018. So all of that gave me a wake-up call, and like I was making great money as a W-2 employee, but I didn't have that residual income, and I wasn't insurable. Nobody can give me any insurance because of my health history. So I started buying a small multifamilies, duplex, triplex, all the way around New Jersey area until I was able to quit my W-2, which was in 2019, right before COVID. And then at that time, I just pivot and start like doing. I don't know. I think you are part of the webinar, Juli.
No, I love it. Let's have her on there.
Yeah, I
For those of you
know.
that don't know, that's my beautiful mother. She's actually the one that connected us with
I know.
Backflip. She's the one that's been
She
It's been
uses the
talking to
link
them.
for the panelists. Well, we're gonna talk about you guys a little bit
It's
later.
a super family business. Yeah, right
I know,
there.
I know. So we I start just pivoting. I start a real estate podcast. I was a huge fan of Bigger Pockets. I started my own podcast in 2019. I interviewed so many people, both in English and Spanish. Most of the Bigger Pockets hosts were on my podcast. And then I started just pivoting to different strategies. I did syndication, apartment complexes. And then we moved to North Carolina, to Charlotte, and put us here. And I'm extremely happy about that. And when we moved, we needed to figure out different market, different conditions, and that's why we got into fix and flips because of my wife, because she was the visionary, and now we get into new construction. So a lot of stuff going on, but in order, we didn't want to bore you with all our story. We prepared some slides for you guys to look at it, so it's gonna be easier for us to explain. And then, like you said before, we open to any question. If you can just put it there, and most likely we're gonna be able to answer it at the end of the process. You can just confirm whenever we have the slides that are up, so we can just start going through the deck.
Yes, I
Looks
see it. And then
great.
right really quickly, I see Tammy's comment of it didn't occur to me that the two of you had the same last name. Beautiful family. Oh, shucks, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
can
God.
you guys please confirm if you can see the slides really quickly? It looks
I
great to
can see
me.
them.
I'm
Yeah.
biased.
Perfect. Okay,
Perfect.
so family business. The three of us, but it's not only the three of us. We have also my wife, which is she's here as well. So she's a huge part of the business. We're gonna talk about our roles. We've been doing it for a long time, for more than 20 years. And then Victoria, I would like for you to share, like, how did you get into the real estate business? It's a cool story. Every time you mention it, people
Of
have
course,
a
of
realization.
course. So allow me to be that ray of hope of if your kids don't seem interested at first, they will grow into it. You just gotta keep being persistent. So as you can see, I was quite literally born into the real estate business. My mother was pregnant with me when she read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then she became a realtor. So while I was a child, she would actually take me with her to her showings, and while she was showing the house to her clients, I would be convincing the kids. I'd be like, "This house is gorgeous. This is the best playground ever. This backyard's huge." And you guys know how much of an impact the emotional impact the children have on their parents. So they'd go home and they'd be like, "Mom, I need this house. I need this house." And we'd go under contract. So I truly do say that for me, it was just from the very beginning. I would be surrounded by the verbiage of real estate, table topics, lunch topics wouldn't really be normal. They'd kind of be real estate related. Every now and then, we ourselves were investors. My parents were investors. First 10 years, the last 10 years, you guys were investing for the last 10 years in real estate in New York and New Jersey. So we would go to properties, fix them up before the tenants came in. I'm like, why are we picking this trash? Why can't I be watching TV? I'm not really realizing just the beauty of being able to take care of our own properties that we have in our portfolio to have them rented out and just cover that. So I was always really interested in it whenever I was little. But I think as an act of rebellion, I decided, no, I'm not going to do real estate. And then I went in to study accounting and finance. I know, so rebellious, right? I was going to be a CPA. I was going to be an accountant. And truly, when I went into that route in college, was I doing good on paper? Yes, I was in the accounting club. I was one of the head officers, and I was doing great in grades. But I would look around and I would see all these people that were like, oh, we're going to make this much money and we're going to cap at this and we're going to work 100+ hours. And I was like, okay, well, what's the fastest way to grow? And they're like, well, take off the workload from your boss's paper, from your boss's table, and then slowly work up to that. And I would be like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is all life has to offer. I was like, I want more, especially having been raised, seeing my parents live a completely different way. So we moved here to Charlotte, North Carolina. And right there, one of us had to get our real estate license, and I was like, you know what? I want to do it. I want to move. I want to go all in. I basically took school being raised in this environment, so I want to use that to not only help my family, which was a big plus, but also help other people that didn't have the blessing of being able to just practically grow in the business. So that's how I got interested in it. I can clearly say that once you catch the groove of everything and everything, just the systems play out, it's so much more fun. And I've always loved working with my family. Sure, are there tussles every now and then? Yes, but who doesn't have tussles? But I do enjoy it because we all have the same values, the same mindset, and what better person to work with and for if not someone that you love and your family. So if I'm going to invest time and grow a business, might as well make it my own family business.
So that's how we come up with the team. And then is there 4 of us, even in our previous picture, Valerie was part of it. We run a real estate meetup here locally, and we have the number is literally outdated. We have more than 650 members that came through our meetup. They don't come all at the same time, obviously, but we've been blessed to have a monthly meetup. The 4 of us, we part of it. Valerie, which is my youngest daughter, she's also in charge of the hosting of the event. Just, I mean, they're getting people coming into the event, and just more like a beautiful face when they come in. And then Victoria and I with presenters, and then my wife has a huge role in different and everything that we do. Like in terms of the investment, she's like a visionary. She sees through things, and then she has like an eye for designer. So sometimes as men, I don't know, I would have a lot of fix and flip investors. I would like to see your comments, but as men, we are so like we want to do everything the same way. I mean, we like to work, but we like to the process. But in terms of the design, and it's not just me. I've been talking to a lot of investors that did the same. So my wife has it's a great part of it. So she has the eye, and sometimes whatever she recommends is exactly the reason why people in there is buying our properties, because she's thinking from like a wife perspective, and also how how can I make things more productive and more user friendly, and so that's what she does. And obviously Victoria is our amazing real estate agent here. And it's funny because a lot of people think that we kind of push her to get into the license, and it was far from it. She was the one who came and asked us, and I was like, okay, if it comes from you, obviously I'm not gonna say no. But we love it, and in my case, my role is like just to be the connector and just try to oversee the process and just create relationships. I think that one of the things that I would like to share with all of you, whenever you're working in a team, regardless if it's a family team or not, the most important thing is roles. Just figure out who is doing who, and in communication. And obviously, just don't take things personal. Sometimes it's hard when we are under the same roof or in the same house, but I think that works really well, really well. And then we're still a work in progress, but I think that's one of the biggest advantages we've been having. Just figure out what are the roles and what are our strengths and weaknesses, and try to leverage the strength of each one of us to be able to work more as a team. And that has been the main reason why we haven't been able to do it for such a long time.
I agree. One thing that I would love to say is keep in mind, when we first moved here to Charlotte, North Carolina, we knew absolutely no one. We knew no one. So I was born and raised in New York. So New Yorker for life. I was born and raised in New York. We moved here down south and knew no one. And you could use that as an excuse of, well, I don't know people. I don't have the network. You need the network to get the net worth. But what did we do? We hosted a real estate meetup. And with that meetup that we thought genuinely, I personally thought, I was like, no one's going to come to this. I got so scared. And we just created a beautiful community. And we realized we weren't the only people that felt a lack of just connection and wanting to meet other people. And now it's one of the biggest things that we're known for. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I also want to just kind of just enforce what my father said with understanding each other's strengths. So it's very easy to recognize what I'm good at, but I don't want to recognize what I'm bad at because I want to think that I'm good at everything, but it's truly not that way. And I think from the beginning, just my mother is such an amazing visionary. She can walk into a property and find the best layout to give the highest value out of it just upon looking at it. And meanwhile, if my dad and I walk into a property, I can kind of see it, but my dad's like, it smells terrible. I want to get out of here. And then my mom said, hey, we should do a real estate meetup up in this and this and this. But she goes, by the way, I hate speaking. You guys got this. She's like, I hate public speaking. You guys got this. I'll set it up and help break it down. You'll go speak. That's not my strength. I'm going to let you guys shine in that. But she knows how to shine in every other way, which is setting it up, being the visionary, doing themes based off of the seasons of when the event is happening, checking in with us and being our accountability partner and connecting with people inside of the event. So everyone understanding that we're just one big puzzle piece and we have to understand each piece that we fit in is ideal. And I can clearly state out all of my family's traits and gifts for hours and hours, but we don't have that. But just being able to recognize that and see the best way to just highlight everyone is the most important thing.
Totally. And I just give a glimpse before how it started. 2004, I got my real estate license. In 2009, when the market crashed, I joined a real estate firm. So I was there for like almost 10, 11 years. And then we started buying properties. And something that I want to mention, that's why we decided to put this slide here. Every time you start investing in real estate, you have to figure out what is your big why, and what is it what is it you want to accomplish? In our case, at that time in our life was cash flow. So we wanted to buy property that generate cash flow to cover my W-2, just in case if anything happened through one of my surgeries, or if at the time when thanks to God, we were able to do that. Just leave the W-2 and be able to have passive income. So that's huge. And I mentioned that because a lot of investors, you ask them, so why do you want to start investing in real estate? They're like, because we love it, and I want to get into it. But what is the outcome? And they really don't have the outcome really clear. They don't know if what they're looking is cash flow, what they're looking is equity, because they may not have a lot of money saved, or what is it they're looking for? So it's like, whenever you driving, if you don't have the final destination, it's going to be impossible for you to get there. So that's why we had that when we start, and that was our goal. You start buying small multifamilies, and that we did it until we reached the point that the market also changed it, and then it was time for us to move to our next. And that's another advice that I always would like to always give. That we as a real estate agent has to evolve, because the market, like, what used to work 10 years ago is not working right now. And what is working right now, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years with the AI. Might not work then. And all those like markets have the fluctuation. All those markets, like for instance, a couple of years ago, Austin was the crown of the jewels. Everybody wanted to be in Austin, Texas, and I'm nothing against there. I have a lot of friends there, but the market is really tough right now because they got oversaturated. And it happens to all the cities. I think most likely it's gonna be happening to Charlotte in the near future, or in the midterm. But that's how we did it. We decided, listen, we want to start just increase our portfolio of small multifamilies, just to be able to get the cash flow. And then when we move here to North Carolina, then we have the best new asset to the team, which is the next generation. And to be honest with you, we were surprised. I was surprised when we started an event and realized how natural Victoria was presenting. I mean, she's great doing it here, obviously, but when she does those events live, I mean, she's like a different person. Every single time, I have someone that comes to me and say, yeah, I've been looking at her because I'm right next to her. So I've been looking at like a proud dad, how she does it so well. So as a God-given talent, I think that she's been using it really well.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. But I think it's absolutely amazing. I think that in moments where you're most scared, because I was terrified, in those moments is when you discover something that you're maybe good at, because you would have never originally done it, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone. But yes, so then I joined the business. With that, I found out, hey, this takes systems, this takes work, but we did it. And now I'm just so happy to see everything that we've done. Over there on the picture with today is our first ever Cash Flow Workers Club event. That was towards the end of the event. I know that originally we had around 110 RSVPs. I think 80 people showed up, which is a crazy turnout rate. And then I know that the most amount of people that come, it's either referrals, so they're referral based from their friends, which means that they liked it, or it's from people that have just been looking online. So I think that if the algorithm is pushing our event, it's probably for a very good reason. And 5 years ago, I never would have thought that would be a possibility, and here it is. And it's the first Wednesday of every single month. And if any of you happen to be local here in Charlotte, it's in the Camp North End area. We'll gladly send the address as well. But over there is just everything that we're looking to do. So just educating and growing in community and helping one another. We really do believe in the idea of givers get. So the more that we give, the more that you're naturally going to get back. So we just hope to give as much as we possibly can in every way, shape, or form. And one example would be just us doing this right now and being able to have this amazing time with you guys.
Yeah, totally. It's something that I want to mention. Like we've been blessed with the outcome with the meetup, definitely. But that's not the only thing that we do. Like we join like local organizations, we local networking groups, and just to be honest, not all of them work the same way. We have some like we still debating if it's the best use of our time. But and I mentioned this because sometimes we try one strategy like connect or to deal source or anything, or raising capital, for example, and it doesn't work, and we right away think, okay, this is not working. So we have to try multiple, and we've been lucky enough to have the one that works really well, and obviously the connection, like such as this one, which you invite us and be able to connect with people from all over the United States, and this well use of the technology that we have right now. So what we're doing right now, we have rentals, and then we have a buy and hold. It's funny because when I started my podcast, people always ask me like, do you ever will do fix and flips? I said no. I was super happy with, with buying whole. That was my strategy. I'm not gonna touch fix and flips, and that never said never, because now we're doing it. And then obviously I have my wife, which is an star doing it, and Victoria that has an amazing and the disposition. So we have a great team. Then multifamily, that's something that we've been doing. It's a really tough market right now because what happened in the last couple of years, but we start seeing properties that start making sense, especially here in North Carolina. So that's something that we are actively looking for new projects. We do syndications. LP of it's called limited partner, when the people want to just invest in the project and they're not looking to get involved in the process. And GP is a general partner, when someone is hands-on, is involvement. So we do both, but we more inclined to do the GP because we're active investors. New construction is something that we're excited about it, because back in New York wasn't a thing. It's not really that many land available, but over here, even though it's a lot less land right now because it's pretty competitive, it's something that we get into it. And obviously our real estate meetup, where we have like at least 650 people that have been coming through our event. So our foundations are faith. We think that everything happens for a reason. God give us, I mean, he's the one guiding us our path. And I think that's important for always to give him the glory. Our family, I think that's one our foundation. And just service. Sometimes even when we don't see when we don't see it in outcome, and it's in the relationships, and people might just give it away. In our case, we try to serve as much as possible, and obviously always thinking the long-term investing. Real estate, I know we have people here that are brand new or maybe the experienced real estate investors, but this is a long term. This is more like a marathon. This is not a 100-meter race. And yes, that is strategy. You might be able to get outcome really fast and see the result right away, but most likely, based on experience, it takes time. And it takes a team. In our case, we have our family, and we have like partnerships such a Backflip. That's a great sources for our finances, financing opportunities in terms of the projects that we do.
Amazing. Great job.
Okay,
very good
I'll
job.
let you do the lessons. We try to make this
Thank
quick.
you.
We're gonna hopefully open up for Q&A a little bit later and be able to connect with you more.
Yes, you will. I see we have a few Q&A questions. Of course, if you guys have any comments that aren't questions in particular, feel free to put those in the chat. We would love some interaction too as well. But I'm very excited for those Q&A. So lessons that we've learned throughout the journey, I truly do believe that relationships are way more important than transactions. You'd be so surprised. It's sometimes the conversation that you make casually with someone that you didn't think much of that turned out to be the best connection that you could have made in the whole entire night. There's many times in events where I'm finding someone sitting by themselves and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me go talk to them. I'm the host. I should help them out. And they're just a rock star that's just chilling by themselves. And I was like, that was a crazy connection that I never would have thought possible. So especially here in real estate, I can personally say that it's very common for you to just see people as, oh, what can I get out of them? What can the best connection be? And I don't want us to go in with that mentality. Go in with, I can probably give value to a lot of people here and in return receive value from a ton of people here, ignoring just the status that they currently have right now. I think that when you have that mindset, it's so important. It allows for so much growth because you're not just going to be thinking, oh, I'm just going to do this person and talk to this person, and you're gonna block yourself from so many blessings. So community creates opportunities. Of course, we're big community people. We want to help in any way, shape, or form. And with that, we have been able to be very blessed from this event. Things that, let me just say personally, we didn't go into this thinking, well, me personally, I was like, I'm going to get all these referrals and all this business. I was actually a secret agent for my first year. It turns out my friends didn't know I was a realtor. The people that went to the event didn't know I was a realtor. They just thought I knew a lot about real estate for no reason. And I'm here thinking, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. So when you start to really open up and be vulnerable and just share what you want to do and how you want to help people, it makes the world of a difference. Stay consistent. Do you think there were months that we were thinking, oh, I don't want to do this? Of course there were. There were so we do it every single month and we've done it for 12 months straight. We haven't stopped yet. And I have had many times where I'm thinking, what's 1 month? What's 1 month? And my mom and my dad are like, no, the second you stop, it's going to be impossible to start again. So even in those months, funnily, those months, the ones where I really didn't want to continue doing the event, or the ones that the most people came, or even if there wasn't a big amount of people, the people that did come had a very great experience and interacted a lot. So in those moments, I really recommend just staying consistent, thinking long term. We always enforce in the event to not have the small goals in mind, but the big goals in mind. I want you to tell me an astronomical goal that you'd be embarrassed to say in front of other people. And in that moment, don't be embarrassed to say it. Think big, crazy goals and think, okay, now how can I actually get there? And don't just focus on the small goals because those small goals are going to happen anyways. If I were to put a goal of like, I want to go out and talk to two people, I could probably do that like in 3 minutes. But if I go, I want to have connected with at least 50 people this month, what am I going to do every single day to get towards that goal that's going to push me to have to become someone else and have to change the habits that I currently have? So that's a tidbit of just how we not only teach really good real estate advice as well, but also, and it's so corny, but it truly is just the mindset that you have when you go in every single day. The most successful people, I promise you, they're not the smartest. They're not the ones that are the best at math. They're not the ones that are the best at real estate. They're the people that truly just believe that there's no physical thing in this world that can stop them from trying to achieve what they want to achieve if they just hustle and go for it every single day. So that's also something that we've seen. We've met being able to meet all these people, and with those people, we see the levels of success from people that just did it, that just tried. People that didn't say they were going to just prepare and get ready and do it tomorrow. They did it today, and I would much prefer someone that started today rather than that person that's preparing for the last 3 years that hasn't started yet. Because I promise you, that person that started 3 years ago that had no idea what they were doing now learned all these things and they're killing it. And truly understanding that this is way bigger than ourselves. My father is a good example. He always says, all glory to God. Whenever he receives any kind of praise, he was like, no, like this is bigger. This is bigger than us. This is bigger than even the family. This is just us wanting to create a space of just welcoming everyone, growth, and just the crazy things that can come from it. And knowing that this isn't something that comes out of just artwork, it's also just out of everyone's work together and just truly believing that there's a greater purpose for everything that we're doing. So those are little lessons that we've learned from the past, what,
18
20
months.
plus years of living,
Oh,
20 plus years of living, trials and error, and truly having to learn this through books, audiobooks, and even just the hard way of the ups and downs of life. But that's a little bit into our brain and how we navigate things.
yeah, and now we have an invitation. So our next Catch Breakfast Club is in August 5th here in Charlotte, North Carolina. However, we have uh the brand and the meetup is nationwide. We have like 30 different clubs, and we teach the same content in every club. And we even have a webinar as well, so we invite you to join us as well. So we're gonna put some links around a little bit later in terms of how can you register if you are in the area, and if you're not, you can just Google it and just find out. Especially in the East Coast, there are a lot of clubs, and if there is not one club in your area, and it's something that you might be interested in, just reach out to us. I'm really close friend with 𝗍𝗂𝗁, which is the founder, and yeah, definitely we always look into new locations. So that's something that I always put it there as a great way to position yourself as someone that's running an organization, a community, and then you create obviously opportunities to give back, but at the same time, like Victoria says, it's a business opportunity to come through it. And that's not our main focus, but definitely it's an added bonus. It requires work, a lot of work, but it is the satisfaction every event when we finish. I mean, that was great, even though it was a lot of work before this. So in terms of like who are looking to connect, if you're listening to this live or recording, I'm not sure if it's in the recording, I'm definitely looking for connection. This is a people business. I'm looking for wholesalers for our deals and fix and flips. JV, someone that is outside the state, they want to do a JV deal. We're open to do that. Investors for our projects, private capital for both. We have the small residential projects, or if you want to be part of this, our syndications, we are open to that. Do that as well. While Victoria is going to present her couple of slides, I'm going to put our link to sign for the club, and also my contact information, if that's okay with you, Mariah, so I can just get you guys if you have any questions or anything that we can do, or you have a deal or a wholesaler, or you want to know about the market here in North Carolina, you're looking to JV, we're open to do that as well.
Yes, of course. Perfect. And I know that I personally am having a hard time being able to find how to send the message to everyone. So in case my father and I send anything that can't be seen to everyone, Mariah, if you could just send it out to the everyone chat. Perfect. Thank you. And the people that I'm looking to connect with. So as a real estate agent that's here in Charlotte, the one things that I really want to accentuate more are just the things that we do to go above and beyond for our investors. So we don't just say, hey, hope you find the deal, good luck, hope you fix it up perfectly and have everything ready and you don't spend 100K more on fixtures that don't have much of an importance and just tell me when the property is list ready. So we start from we help investors from start to finish. That means underwriting. If you have a deal that you have in mind, I know that as an investor, I love when there's more eyes on a deal because I can run numbers a specific way. But what if I have a more careful investor that runs numbers even more precariously or a little more cautiously and they leave a bigger margin and they say, oh, you didn't take this into account. Oh, what if the foundation's actually twice as much as you're anticipating for it to be? So I know the more eyes on it, the better. So I personally love underwriting deals and doing deal analysis and sharing my comparables before you even go under contract on your investment property here in the Carolinas. So we help with that as well. We do project planning. So we have the connections with how to start from the beginning to the end. So what does that mean? So after you go under contract, that means with doing different things like the inspections and being able to see what's wrong with the property itself. That means having general contractors that you trust and like, know, and trust that are going to go out and give you different scopes of work and how much it's going to cost. So we have built with years of trial and error, a group of people that we can trust, that we can recommend you with here locally that can go out and give you an accurate scope of work. So that comes with working with me as your realtor and with the team. So we have contractors in our network with listing strategies. I'm going to show in the later slide just how Monarch Group Realty, which is the firm that I'm a part of, it's a boutique firm. So we're a firm that doesn't only do traditional first-time home buyers, which of course I do as well. And if you know anyone that wants to do first-time home buying, especially here in Charlotte, feel free to reach out to me. I would absolutely love to help them. Or traditional selling as well. If you want to sell your house and get the max profit for them, I would also love to help with that. But we also have the idea of doing that as an investment base. So what does that mean? It means as an investment based firm, we know exactly how to do this because we are actively doing fix and flip deals ourselves. We are actively getting properties from wholesalers ourselves. We are actively doing this, which means we don't just talk the talk, we actually walk the walk. And I'm going to give you the same advice that I would give to myself that I'm actively preaching. So with that, I know in my own team in particular, we have our own staging as well. So we can help you with staging as well. Negotiating and closing, that's a given as well. But the most important thing is we have our own in-house designer that would come walk the property with you and tell you, hey, I would do this, I would do this, I would readjust this. It's going to cost this much more. This is what I think the scope should look like. This is what I think the layout should look like. And with that, we're going to be able to list it for this and have it under contract in this. So I think that those are the most important things. We want you to feel like you have someone holding your hand throughout the whole entire process. If you currently have a property that you're thinking of just going to the cheap realtor route and just 1%ing it out, I truly want you to understand just the value that we're giving and saying we are a team. So we're not just one person that's going to put it on the market. My job isn't to put homes on market. My job is to sell homes. So in the next slide, so there you'll have my contact information. So my phone number and everything as well. If Mariah or my father could find a way to put it on there. But before then, I want to show just results. So as a realtor and a was going to be CPA accountant, as you can tell, I like numbers and that's how we like analyzing things. So these are two examples of places in two different markets. So there's the Charlotte, Maine market. So those of you that aren't too familiar with North Carolina. So there's North Carolina and then there's Charlotte. So Charlotte is basically what the New York City is in New York. So it's like big city where everything's going up in prices, everything is going great. And then for the surrounding areas, Gastonia is one of those up and coming areas where a lot of investors are going to because they're kind of being priced out in Charlotte. So these are two properties that my firm had that we went under contract with. So the first one was 3400 Campbell Drive, Charlotte, North Carolina. So this was a fix and flip. There was a mid to luxury fix and flip. The list price was 650,000 and we got it under contract in just 2 days. So the average days on market and when the slide was made was 30, but with the amount of properties are going up, it's actually gone up to about 45 days. So it'd probably be a little bit faster. So about 95% faster than the average listing. And in 613 Plum, road as well in Gastonia, North Carolina. We went under contract in exactly a week, which is 87% faster than the average listing. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we find out that we're actually giving the buyers what they want, a proven strategy. So we don't try to reinvent the wheel. We find, hey, what are other properties that went on off market super fast, that went under contract super fast, and how do we replicate that to have that work for you? We don't want you to be that first property in that street that's beautiful. We don't want you to be the guinea pig. We want you to be the person that's going to be just kind of riding off the horse of other proven methods as well. So our listings don't just hit the market. We stand out in every way with marketing, with our listing presentations, with our staging, with the videos that we do, with good quality, with GCs that actually know what they're doing. If anything comes up during the inspection, the GCs are going to be able to fix it up because they did a good job. So these are ways that you don't just have someone that's going to be an extra problem or an extra headache. You're going to have someone that's going to provide solutions. And if that is at all any interest to you, I would love to just be able to schedule a one-on-one. So Mariah put here in the chat a book time with Victoria. So I would love to. I love Google Meets. Google Meets and I are like this. Coffee meetings everywhere was super hard, and I know some of you guys are out of the state, which is even better for me for Google Meets. So I would love to schedule just a 30-minute consultation and how I can help in any way, shape, or form with the skills that we've acquired and the team that we have to help you just either kickstart or just keep skyrocketing your portfolio here in either Charlotte or Gastonia or basically North Carolina in general. And if you guys have any questions for me, I would love to answer any of those in the Q&A as well. So, Father, would you like to close us out?
Yeah, this is it. Like we said before, and our goal is to try to interact with you guys much as possible. But we wanted to just give you some idea what is that we do, how we do it as a family, the roles that we each has. And then realize that the real estate give us the opportunity to create financial freedom. And Victoria also mentioned that multiple times mentioned the financial freedom is not the end; it's the beginning. That gives us the opportunity to do stuff like this and many more things that require time and obviously some funds as well. So I think that was a lot of from us. I think this was more than enough. So we'd like to open up, Mariah, if it's okay with you for a Q&A. If you have any questions, let me just close this out and then let's try to make it interactive as possible.
Amazing. I wish that you could hear everyone's applause because I'm sure everyone is applauding. This is so great. Thank you both so much. Can't wait to jump into Q&A. So let's go right into it. Let's ask this first question. How did you find houses to flip with so much competition on the MLS? And how do you get off-market deals?
Yes, let me go first and then the Victor do it. The same thing I mentioned before in terms of the strategy. So we have multiple strategies. Obviously, the MLS is one of them, and we have like different criteria the property we're looking at. We through the our meetup and not only our meetup, we go to other people's meetup as well. We make connection with wholesalers. So that's another strategy that we do. We also do go all style. We go like we call in homeowners directly. We do drive for dollars with door knocking. We're doing it, and it's hard, especially right now in summertime. We sometimes I feel like we're melting out there. But we've been able to connect with so many people, especially people that might not be inclined to answer the phone. So when we go there in person and we do it, I do it with Victoria. So it's fun because they see a beautiful face and they're like, oh, this is a beautiful girl, and then we can just start connecting. So I think that it's a combination of all of that, relationships, and then obviously the MLS, and then we join different networking events. And not exclusive real estate related. We go to we are part of like BNIs, and we are part of different groups and try to plant seeds everywhere and try to warn them and they start to just give fruits and all of them at the same time, and that's how we're doing it. But obviously Victoria is super active in doing that as well in terms of the wholesaling part.
Yes, of course. So with the idea of saying there's a lot of competition on the MLS, yes, that is true, but it also depends on which kind of flips you're doing. I know that my firm in particular, if you're looking in Charlotte, like Maine-based Charlotte, there's gonna be a lot of competition for anything that shows up that's under 200K. But if you're looking for that mid to luxury level flip, there are those 350s, even 400s, maybe even 500Ks purchase prices that you could then flip into 800s, 900s, and that seems to be a little scarce. But as well as just being open to to looking at the outskirts. That's something that we're seeing. In the outskirts of more than an hour drive away or about an hour drive away, I have been able to see successful flips that have been able to happen due to negotiating of properties that were on market for 140 plus days. And in those moments, you just catch the seller where they probably thought the last day, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish someone gave an offer. And then in that moment, sure, is it every single time where you catch them like that? No. But in that moment, you could have submitted the offer at the right exact time. And they were like, okay, if it's cash and you'll close in 5 days, whatever, I'll take the price cut. I just really need the money right now. But I know that especially when we started here in Charlotte, a good amount of our deals happened thanks to wholesalers, and that's property. What does that mean? That means that we follow through with the wholesalers. We take care of them. We know that they know that we're going to actually follow through and not waste their time, because the wholesaler's biggest fear is having property under contract and that due diligence runs out and they're like, shoot, no one wants to get this. And if someone keeps sending me wholesale deals, the most important thing is to just not ghost them. You want to respond to them and give feedback. So if you're known as that person that's going to take care of your wholesalers, they're going to want to send you more deals. And yes, do wholesalers maybe need to learn a little more when it comes to negotiating, but we can definitely teach that as well. But just the relationship is super duper important. And I think that is the most important thing to focus on, and understanding that you can really fish from anywhere. You just have to be consistent. You're not going to find a deal on the MLS every single day, but if you check every single day at one point with the right eye and understanding, you'll be able to find something.
Awesome.
Well said.
Quick follow-up question. Since you're talking about wholesalers, Jacob asked, I have wholesalers that call and text me a lot. Should I entertain those opportunities?
Well, the name of the game is just you have to run your numbers, and this is a numbers game, which means that you have to look at least like 100 deals to make sure that out of those 100 deals, most likely 20 might work, and then you put in offers in 10, and you ended up getting like 2 or 3. So if you are not getting enough deals, is because you are not reviewing as many deals as possible to get to those 100. I mean, and the metrics change. Now it could be like little even higher than that. It depends on the market. So my answer to Jacob, definitely yes. First of all, like Victoria said, a lot of wholesalers, and because the level entry is so low, might not have a lot of experience, but sometimes that's an opportunity for me as an investor and you, Jacob, to figure it out, like, okay, just try to like give great feedback and try to like, I'm not saying teach them or guide them to exactly what are they looking for and how can they negotiate on your behalf. And obviously, if you help them and just close a deal, you're gonna be one of the preferred clients for the investors for them. So yes, I'm not saying that every single deal we get from our wholesaler is something that we can buy, most likely not. But we try to like give feedback. Sometimes I tell them, listen, and especially for new construction, the area is not ready for new construction right now, or the lot, or whatever it is. Just give feedback and not just look at the property, don't even like it, and don't say anything. So you try to respect their time as well. It's a really tough business, part of the business to do, and it takes a lot of time and effort. So yes, I would say entertain those opportunities, review the numbers, and then just make an offer. Like Victoria said, it doesn't hurt. Sometimes people say, oh, we have a case recently with Victoria. One of the clients decided to walk out of the property when Victoria advised, listen, let's come out this offer. Oh, no, I think it's too low. And the property ended up going for that price. So just make an offer. I mean, review the numbers. If it makes sense, if it's within your buybacks. And that's something important. Sometimes when you tell people, I buy everything, everything is nothing. You have to be really clear what is they looking for. So they know if I come with the property in the area that Carlos and Juliana and Victoria is buying, and is within the price range, most likely we're gonna give them an offer. So yes. So obviously look at it, and then and just try to guide them and just give them some feedback as much as possible.
Yeah, good call out. Follow-up question to that. It looks like we've got another one. It says with wholesalers, they have to meet their quotas and you have to meet yours. What's your opinion on splitting the difference?
I read a book, a pretty good book. That's a title. It's called "Never Split the Difference," and it was wrote by a guy that I think he used to working for the FBI. I highly recommend it in terms of negotiation. Split the difference right away. It might not be a best case scenario for both of you. So just figure out exactly how can you help that person. How can you obviously make the deal work for you, and try to like just start with the mentality to split the difference right away. So because right away you're giving 50% of whatever you're looking for when you try to come like just meet in the middle. And that's what I love the book when they said just never split the difference. And obviously just try to be fair, win-win situation, but you always have to try to figure out how can you present it in a way that makes sense for both of you guys, but make sure that your numbers are in alignment with what you're looking for. So we love books. So first recommendation of the day: never split the difference. I forgot the name of the author, but it's a pretty cool book.
Awesome. Amazing. Okay, let's see. We've got another one that asks, have you ever done a cash out refinance?
Yes. Multiple times. I think that was one of the strategies. Like a lot of people think they think they need a lot of money to invest in real estate. The BRRRR method, which is not really as popular right now because the price, the rates are really high. But yes, we that's one of the main strategy that we leverage to be able to acquire more properties, leveraging our own portfolio. And even now, with the DSCR, they even have a second loan in investment properties. So yes, we try to we have a term in our meetup called lazy equity. When you have an equity in the property that's doing nothing, and you can leverage it if that's your goal. So we call it lazy equity. Try to figure it out in your portfolio what is the lazy equity that's not doing much, and try to leverage it. And obviously, cash out refinance is a great idea if you have a plan to utilize those funds to be able to continue increase your portfolio.
Great. Another question was, have you done any new construction? They asked spec home. If so, curious how the experience was compared to flipping.
We haven't done one yet. That's something that we look into to get into it, because we made great connections within the area that people are doing it, and that's something that like I told you before, I wasn't crazy about the idea of the fix and flip because I don't have the vision. Like my wife have my wife. She sees something that I see a house that's falling apart and it's dirty everywhere. Right now, I want to run out of the house. My wife is holding. No, just stay here. This is great. No,
she goes. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I'm like, it's nice. It smells horrible. And so that's why new construction is something that I'm looking to it, and then we start marketing and just with a deal source together. We've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. So if you ask me in the next couple of months, God willing, I'll give you a better answer in terms of what was the difference. But as far as I understand, with people that are doing it, the hardest part obviously is just getting the lot itself. But once you got the foundation, everything is more control. I mean, it's more predictable than the fix and flip when you really don't know when you're gonna have a surprise. So they both have, and like every strategy in real estate, they all have pros and cons, and people are more willing to tender because I know people making money in every single strategy in the real estate world right now, or even they made it in the past. But in my opinion, I think that I'm more inclined to the new construction. My wife is the queen. Of the fix and flips.
Especially if I could just answer really quickly with that, is both of those have very different timelines. So with new construction, we found a bit of a delay, especially here in Charlotte, because of just how much the county is being just tagged upon of these people asking for zoning permits and all this stuff. And they're like, oh my gosh. So then a lot of people, they were estimating about 6 to 7 months for their holding costs, and it turned out to being 12, 13 months. So with that, I understand that new construction is kind of like a long term, but with flips, you are having to deal with either someone else's messed up work or property that's deteriorating. You never know what's happening behind the walls, but that can also be kind of a faster thing as well, but it also might not have that big of a earning or that big of a profit margin. So we're finding with new construction, the profit margin is bigger. It does take longer, and you have to be a little more patient with that. But the profit margin is bigger with fix and flips. There is a risk because you are messing with something that who knows what that house has been through in the last 100 years or 70 or 60 years that it's been alive. And the profit margins don't usually come out to be as big as new construction, but they don't take that long unless you're changing the overall complete structure of the home because you won't be having to mess with permits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that. Okay. We've got so many good questions coming in, so I'm just going to keep peppering y'all with them.
Please do.
Tammy said, I'm a complete novice trying to start real estate investing. I have been reading up on doing a lot of research on the subject, but I haven't taken the leap yet. Do you have any advice for people like me? And do you refer your clients to lenders?
Yes, advice. One what I notice is some people are more prepared than what they think. So definitely take action. Education is extremely important. That's why we're here, and that's why we do our club. But I noticed that the analysis paralysis is one of the things that is the biggest stop. And like we are ourselves, we are the biggest stop as an investor. So taking action, how? Try to minimize the risk. Just partner up with people that are already doing it, you know? So sometimes we try to, like, as a new investor, I want to do it on my own, and I want to have a home run right away. Happens to me recently. Someone said, oh, I want to do all of this strategy, and I'm going to go this hyper. You have to start small, and then ideally you want to partner with someone who's doing it already. So let's say, I'm not sure what location you are, but if you are someone local, say, Carlos, I want to partner with you, I will say yes if you bring something that I'm willing to partner with. Example, if you bring the deal, Carlos, I bring a deal, I have some money, and I want to partner with you. Would you be willing to do that? I'll say yes. If you want to partner, if you don't bring anything that I don't have, most likely I will say no, because it makes no sense for me. And the same situation will happen with any investor in your area. So try to partner with someone. Some people want to make the whole like 100% of zero is 100% of zero. 50% of one is a lot more than 100% of zero. People, I don't want to lose money. You're not losing any money. You're not losing any money that you don't have. So that's number one. Number two, the question is if we refer them to lenders. Definitely, especially Backflip. We have like that. I'm serious now, because we here we have great experience, and then we have people that we notice that they're going through the same process that we're going, and within the fix and flip, and then obviously we share our experience, and then when they might want to buy a different asset class, and they might want to do a different kind of lending, we also have a preferred lenders that we've been working with in the past. So we try to like recommend as much as possible, but also we advise anyone, including you guys, to do your homework and you interview and you talk to them. You talk to a couple of investors already use them to make sure that they're in alignment with whatever you're looking for.
Awesome. Victoria, anything else to add there? That was great.
I just think it's the amazing advice of with lenders, like we refer you to the people that you need to give you just the most advice in any lending need. I think a lot of people's fear is they think they have to learn everything, but if we can just share your experience with other people that know what they're doing, they can easily teach you in 5 years what they've learned in 10 to 15 minutes. And I think that's just the name of the game. And once again, analysis paralysis, if you feel you're not ready, do it anyways. Don't go and risk everything. Like, go connect with people, but don't prepare like a 5-year plan of like, okay, I'll start in 5 years. Truly just start now, but surround yourself with people that are successfully doing it, and you'll become an average of the people that you're around.
Oh, you guys are so good at this. All right. We've got... Okay. Are you only licensed to buy homes in North Carolina?
So currently I am only licensed in North Carolina. I literally live 10 minutes away from South Carolina. So it's something that I am actively working towards right now. I know, fingers crossed, I'm going to have it by the end of next month. So I do definitely want it. And it's a very easy transition since they're brother states. So all I have to do is just pass the South Carolina exam. And I've been told it's easier than North Carolina. So I just have to schedule that.
Great. Love that.
Because of the many years in the business, we have create partnerships all over the United States. So if you have a market that you're looking for, and you say, I would like to invest in, I mentioned before, Texas, the name out now. Okay, any city, just let us know. We might have someone. We part of different masterminds, so we might be able to refer it to someone within our mastermind, 𝗂𝗵𝗹𝘁 Club, or out of it. So we try to like obviously guide you as much as possible if you have a referral that we have used in the past, or if we know personally.
Awesome. All right, we've got, do you raise capital and how from private investors or everyday people?
Yes, yes. The question is yes and yes. For when we did when we do the syndications, and I'm not going to explain the whole process, but two different models: the 𝗵𝘃𝗶𝗃𝗵𝗏, which is friends and family, people that know you already, and the 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃, which is just everybody else, and that's regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So it depends on the model. When we do syndication, we raise capital through our network. And our groups and our people that invest in the past, or when we have the other one, we can just go out there. So that's for the big projects, apartment complex, pretty much similar with like Grant Cardone when he does that. Gotta go raise properties. That's the 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃. when he promoted. So if you hear someone promoted it, 𝗵𝘃𝗃. If nobody's promoted it, someone is presented to you because you related, 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗵. And for our residential projects, we have a lot of people that invest in our project that are local, people that have money in a 401k. Sometimes you can do like a self-directed IRA. People that have money in savings and that just not really moving it, or people that want to diversify. Real estate is a great vehicle. And it's not the only vehicle; it's the vehicle that we like. But some people want to diversify. So definitely, we try to like present that to our local investors, and most of them we meet them through our club or use relationships through the masterminds and networking groups, or in a daily basis in a conversation that we've been having. Like for example, we can be talking right now. Someone said, "Yeah, I would like to invest in North Carolina. I heard the market's great. Reach out to us. We figure out if we had a good match, and then we definitely present what kind of project we have available at that time."
Amazing. I know we're almost at time because this just flew by. Do y'all have one piece of advice or an action that people should take away from this session, and then we'll wrap it up?
I do. I do. So my one piece of advice is comparison is the root of all evil. So if you ever find yourself comparing yourself with someone that is doing these crazy deals, I have been grateful to be surrounded by these just crazy heavy hitters. And a really good advice that they tell me is, hey, if you want to make 1 million in revenue, you're going to have 1 million revenue problems. So do you think you are the person right now that can handle $1 million problem, or you're going to have to work pretty hard to get there and focus on that rather than the number itself? So just think, who do I have to become to be able to reach these crazy goals that I have? And then when you think, okay, I can handle $1 million problem, okay, by that point, you'll already be doing it. So that's my advice.
Yeah, that's amazing advice. And my advice will be like, try to enjoy the journey. And it comes from someone that I think a lot of my health issues was because they over worry. I was extremely worried for all those things when I was working in the law firm. I was working 7 days a week. So sometimes we don't enjoy the journey. We think like Victoria just said, whenever I have the $1 million project or 10 or 20, whatever it is. So if I get that, I'll be happy. Most likely you will not. So enjoy the journey. Just do it for the right intentions. And all of us, we have a God-given talent. So just utilize it. For example, Victoria is an amazing communicator. So every time she uses it, obviously she's excited, she's happy about it. So you know yourself. Like some people are like more like a introvert, and so the person might be the one that's looking at the deals and analyzing deals, putting the structure together. And if you are an extrovert, so just you are the one outside just talking with people. Sometimes you have a vice versa. The extrovert, you look at the numbers and it's miserable because they don't even want to do that. And the introvert is pushing out there to network, and that person doesn't even like it. So know yourself and you figure out what your strengths. And if you get an opportunity to work as a family, it's a great thing. It's not easy to do if you mix, and also you have to figure out that you are not always right. You have to figure out, you understand when the other person is right, especially when it's your wife and it's your daughter.
Wise man right
Yeah,
here.
that's good life advice. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you both so much. We weren't able to get to all of the questions. So for those that we didn't answer, I encourage you to reach out to Victoria and Carlos directly, connect with them. As they've said many times, community and connecting with people is the most incredible and valuable thing we can do here. So I encourage y'all to reach out to them. Victoria and Carlos, thank you so much for being here. This was an incredible session.
Of
We will see you
course.
all in 2 weeks at the next webinar.
Thank
you
you
for the
guys so
Thank
invite.
much
you
for
all.
having us, and I
God,
hope
God
you guys
bless you
all
all.
have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, y'all. Take care.
Bye.